Okay, I'm going to be going through every single League of Legends champion that is out at the moment and giving my thoughts and opinions on them. These are my top Master Champions, my top 28 Master Champions, and so I'm definitely going to be biased towards these champions. Some of them I haven't played in a while, but still I will be definitely biased against them. Okay, so the first champion is Atrox or Atrox, depending upon how you pronounce it. I'm perfectly fine with him. The only problem with him is that he's mostly a stat check champion. If his stats are better than his opponent, he'll win. Otherwise, he'll just lose, which is kind of a linear playstyle. But I really like the design of his Q and his E. I really wish that they could make a more interesting rest of his kit that isn't just auto attacking. Ari, perfectly fine. The only problem I have with Ari is the fact that she's semi-linear, in which case, like, if you get hit with a charm, you're almost dead. Like, mid-game, late game, even early game, if you're aggressive, which I always am, and that's probably my biggest failure as a player. Akali, I'm sorry, I couldn't find the default splash art, but, Akali is. I really liked old Akali. I don't like new Akali as much. New Akali can do a lot more damage, but she does a lot more of it through auto attacks, which is one of my two biggest. Auto attacks is probably my most hated feature of all of League of Legends. So yeah, she's really fun, but she can also just like one shot you, and you're gonna be like, where did my health bar go, and why is this allowed? Which I don't really like, but still. Oops, skip. Okay, Alistair. He's a tank. I'm not really a huge fan of tanks, but as shown earlier, I do play a fair amount of tanks. He's a support as well. I don't play much bot lane. So he's just a really tanky tank. He has good CC. I don't really have a problem with him, except for when he's played in URF and then full AP Alistair one-shots me. Okay, Amumu the Sad Mummy. I always feel bad for Amumu. I have really no problem with him. He has decent CC. He can deal damage if he goes AP. He can be a tank if he needs to. He still has decent CC. I haven't played him. I played him probably once in ARAM, but he's fine and perfectly fine in my opinion. Anivia. I really like Anivia because she's a control mage, and control mage is probably one of my top two favorite archetypes. She has good zoning, good wave clear, good OK burst. They nerfed it a couple patches ago when they removed the RE combo, and decent zoning. So she just is all around a really good champion. The only part I can say I dislike about Anivia is playing against Anivia mains, because they know exactly how to mess me up every single time. Annie is my literally most hated champion. She's really easy, really effective, and does a ridiculous amount of damage for how safe she is. I mean, for example, she has a 40% damage reduction on her E. Like, what the heck? She also has a stun that can stun your entire team, and also has the highest AP scaling in the entire game if you stand in it for the entire duration, which nobody does. But she's super easy, super effective, and she counters basically everybody I play. It's like, I can outplay her really hard as Zed. She lives on a sliver's health. Tibbas on my head, and I die. It's like, thank you for being the anti-fun champion of mid lane. Ashe, she's probably one of my least favorite ADCs to play against because it's just perma-slow, but she's mostly a right-click AD carry, so she just auto-attacks, and I'm sorry again for not having the default splash art. So, she's meh. I mean, then she does some cool stuff she can do, like the Ashe Arrow heard around the world, which is the greatest Ashe Arrow of all time, and stuff like that, but otherwise I don't really hate her or anything. Aurelion Sol. Oh man, I love Aurelion Sol. He was my second champion I ever got to above rank 5 mastery on. He's really fun, really difficult, high skill ceiling, that is, high skill curve. He has defined weaknesses and defined counterplay, but if you don't know what those are, he's going to feel really frustrating. But my biggest problem with him is that he's really weak right now. I think Azir's next. Okay, Azir. Azir is, like Aurelion Sol, is ridiculously fun to play. Has ridiculous skill curve, ridiculous skill cap. But my biggest complaint about him is how oppressive he is in lane when he's strong, or even when he's not strong, and then also his picker ban status. So it's like, If he's strong, then he's going to be able to do a lot of damage. I sort of agree with what Riot wants to do with him. Wants to make him either more of a zoning mage or Shurima Shuffle. What I would say is, I would say that they should remove his zoning thing because that's super annoying in early game. But Shurima Shuffle is like really difficult and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I really like Azir though. He's really annoying to play against though. Bard, favorite support, second, tied for first favorite support. I don't play him much, but he's super fun. He's one of the most unique champions, and one reason that I really like him is he's designed by the same person who made Aurelion Sol, Rabid Llama. I'm really excited for more Rabid Llama champions because his two champions are like two of the most uniquely designed champions in the entire game. Like a support that gains power by leaving their ADC, but then also has probably the highest risk, highest reward ultimate in the entire game. A Bard ult can win a game or lose a game in a single instant. He's just a great champion. Blitzcrank, I don't like getting pulled, but I mostly get pulled because I'm bad, not because Blitzcrank is a horribly designed champion. He's fine. I mean, he's kind of annoying, but he's fine. Brand, I do not like Brand because he does so much damage, and then like his combos are super hard to dodge with Rylai's. He's the biggest Rylai's abuser in my opinion. Same with Zyra. He does a surprising amount of damage, especially if you aren't paying attention to his how many stacks of his passive he has on you, and then plus DOTs are painful. Braum, you are safe with Braum. Braum is amazing. Braum is a great champion. He can feel kind of annoying to play against because he has permaslow, but I don't really mind him because, I mean, he's Braum. He's a friend of the Poros and everything. So Braum's pretty cool. Also, he's a support, and I don't play bot lane very much. Caitlyn, I hate you. Long-ranged, right-click AD carry. I mean, she does have some combos, but I mean, the combos are not her main thing. Her main thing is auto-attacking and then getting the headshot crits that one-shot you, or stuff like that. She's right-click, but, like, you can do combos, but you can do the same damage, if not more, just by auto-attacking. So, plus her Q does so much damage. Like, if you don't believe me, look at it scaling. Like, Caitlyn builds full AD. Her Q is like 120% bonus AD scaling when it's doing less damage. It's ridiculous. Camille, newest addition to League. So far, I do not like her because she has a ton of early game damage and pressure, which doesn't fall off as fast as I feel it should. She also has low mana costs, which I don't feel punish her enough. But I mean, she was just released like 3 weeks ago, so I don't have enough information to truly judge on what I think about Camille. Cassiopeia, she is like instead of a right-click AD carry, she's a spam E AP carry. I really enjoy playing her the few times that I do play her, but it's mostly because I just land a Q or something with Rylai's, and then I just go ham spamming E on their face. I mean, there's like the Q, the ult flash, the stuff, and landing Qs on good players can be hard, but then like her W is just like, I'm going to block all mobility and make it so that you can't get away at all. I feel like it shouldn't block flash, but still. Cassiopeia's okay. I mean, I dislike her more than I like her, though. Cho'Gath, I don't like him, not mostly because his kit. He's one of the few champions with a silence, and I really am not fond of the philosophy of silences. It's like, I'm going to make it so that you can't do anything, but you still can move and auto attack. So he has a lot of CC, he has a lot of AoE CC, he has an execute, but my least favorite thing is when he goes full tank and then gets 600 extra health from just eating his jungle mobs, or when full AP, and then his execute does like 1,000 damage. Corki, I'm perfectly fine with him, except for when he goes mid lane and then has the highest win rate for like 3 patches in a row. That's very fun. He's kind of interesting because he's kind of like Ezreal and Lucian. He's an AD caster. I really like AD casters, but I also don't like how he's really hard to itemize against because he does mixed damage for like everything. And then he has mixed shred as well, so he helps his entire team. It's really ridiculous, but I mean, he's still really fun to play. Darius. Okay, I love Darius to play as, and I used to hate this guy. This guy used to be like my most hated champion. I just banned Darius every single game. But after I played him, because I got Dunkmaster Darius in a chest, I was like, I know how to play against this guy now. So like, he's fun. I mean, he does way too much damage. He does a ton of damage for being so tanky. But I mean, there are a lot of juggernauts, and he is probably my least favorite juggernaut. He's my most favorite juggernaut. Yeah. Diana. She's an assassin. She's an AP melee assassin. The only other AP melee assassin that I can think of is Katarina offhand. Yeah, I think that's it. So she's pretty fun to play. I hate it because when I play Diana, I do like no damage. But then when I play against a person who actually plays Diana, they just one shot me, and I'm like, wait, you deal damage, and then yeah, it's kind of like I think I could play her and think I can enjoy her, but I'm just not good, and I'm not devoted enough to the moon. Mundo, he's a tank. I really don't like. He's an HP tank that regens more than Vladimir, which is kind of ridiculous. And then plus, he does surprising amounts of damage with his E, giving him like 300 AD. So it can be really painful to play against a good Mundo, or like a Mundo main who like knows how to build him properly. Draven, welcome to the League of Draven. I like Draven when he doesn't pull crit, because I have a real problem with crit. I really like Draven because he's probably one of the top 5 high skill cap 80 carries after Lucian, Vayne, well, sometimes Vayne, and yeah, it'd probably be him. He's really fun to play. Playing against a fed Draven is not fun, and he snowballs pretty hard. But I mean, I don't play bot lane against him very much. But yeah, Echo. Okay, Echo is probably one of my also most hated champions. He's an assassin, and his numbers are so buffed because they don't want people to play tank Echo because of his ultimate that he can. I've had Echoes who have completely I've one-shot him to the point where he's at like no health. Then he ulted, had about the same amount had more health than when he started, and then still managed to like hit both parts of his Q, then E, auto me, and then I would die. Plus his ultimate has 150% scaling and has a pretty wide radius as well. Plus he has a 2-second stun and 2 slows on a mid laner. It's like he is so much. He's one of the few champions with a dash and a blink. And they're both on the same ability. And a stun. That also slows. And gives him an XP. Yeah, I should probably stop talking about Echo. Okay, Elise. I don't know what to say about Elise. I don't play against her very much. I generally play against Elise mains who one-shot me, and then I can't one-shot people in bots, and I'm like, where's damage at? So, I feel like I should be able to play her. I should learn how to play her because I need an AP jungler. But, yeah. Evelynn. I don't really like Evelynn because you can't use wards against her, which allows her to really mind game you. And then she does surprising damage. Like, she does so much damage. She doesn't do so much damage. She does a lot of damage for how little you can do against her. I haven't played against Evelynn since they changed pink wards. I don't know if control wards spot her out, but if they do, then yeah, then I think that she'll be fine, in my opinion. Also, that shield on her ultimate. Oh my goodness, landing 5-man ultimates. She gets such a shield. Ezreal, he's my like 3rd favorite ADC after Lucian and someone else. He's very fun to play, and like all of his abilities are skill shots except his E. His E is an escape. He can be kind of frustrating to play against, especially when people feed him and he gets late game, and then he gets like 600 damage on every Q, and then you realize that has a 2-second cooldown. It's like, I am okay with this. But a blue build is probably one of the most annoying builds in the game because this gives him infinite kiting power because of how low cooldown his Q is. But when he's not going blue build, if he's going like full damage, then that's cool with me. Fiddlesticks. You have silence. I don't like that. He does a ridiculous amount of damage base, but I've played against like 5 fiddles in the past month, so I don't really know what to do. Really know what to say. Fiora. Okay, this is an interesting thing. When I play Fiora, It's sort of like Shaco syndrome. The enemy Shaco is like ridiculous, is godlike, but your Shaco is feeding or inting. Like I'm up okay Fiora, but the thing is that I don't know how to use her abilities and stuff. But then when I play against a Fiora, like I first blood them, they come back into lane with like a long sword. That after I go back and buy like health thingy, then they come back and like kill me instantly at level 6. So she's really irritating in the fact that she has so much percent max health true damage, and then her E the second auto attack of her E crits. And as I've said before, I hate crit, which hurts. So she's kind of irritating to play against a good Fiora, but if you aren't playing against like a Fiora main, she's fine. Fizz, screw the Fizz rework. I don't think that there's much more to say other than the fact that like when a shark is like a level 1 Yasuo wall away from you, and then you step like an inch towards it and it locks onto you, and then you see Fizz eating towards you, and then you just run, and then you still die. It's the worst feeling in the world. Galio, who's this guy? Never mind, but still, I've played against a Galio main. Galio feels really strong. I think if I remember correctly, he had the highest win rate overall throughout the season in mid lane, which really surprised me. And he does a lot of damage. He has a lot of poke, but I think he's fine. I'm excited for his rework because I want to see like an interesting like Sentinel champion who's like a gargoyle and stuff. Gangplank. Hey, this is my buddy. Okay, this is also not the default splash art. I love Gangplank. My biggest complaint about Gangplank is that a lot of his damage relies on him getting crits for his barrels, so that his barrels can do like over 1.5k damage. If they could just make it so that like the armor pen build was viable again, so I wouldn't have to go crit. I mean, I like crit though, and some people really dislike his ult. I think his ult is probably his. I think that Gangplank is overall like one of the most fair champions in the game because other than his Q, you can stop all of his damage. Well, except his ult's first hit. Garen, another Juggernaut. I'm not a fan of him. He does a lot of damage, especially with the armor shred thing. I played with a Garen who went full lethality and Black Cleaver, and he would just be able to walk up to somebody and just instantly kill them with this. He would just E them and then they would die because of just how much armor shred he had. He's fine except for he has a silence, which is irritating, but meh. Gnar's my topmost master champion. He's really fun. I feel like he is a genuine counterplay because, like, you can with his trading styles with like you can engage when he's in mini Gnar with not much rage. They can disengage when he's high rage, and then how Mega Gnar only lasts for like 15 seconds if I remember correctly, and he doesn't gain that much health back from Mega Gnar, and then he is high impact champion anyways. So Gragas, I don't like it when he's strong because he's in every game, and then I just see Gragas flash Eing me, and then ulting me back into my team, and I'm just like, thanks a lot, Riot. He's fine when he isn't played most of the time, like when Hanser picks him 5 times top lane. That was very irritating, but I think he's a pretty good design champion when he isn't one-shotting or CC locking me for days. Graves. I love Graves. Graves is so much fun to play. I think he's goodly. I find him fine because he does good damage, but he's also relatively squishy, except when he stacks up his E. But stacking up his E is pretty difficult because it has a relatively long cooldown, even with the cooldown being reset. And I'm still sad that he doesn't have a cigar. Hecarim's odd because I never really understand when he's gonna deal damage. Like he has a Sheen. He does he can kill me. He has Trinity Force, he doesn't kill me. Just very odd. He's kind of I like him when he's not picked all the time, which is kind of like right now. He's one of the stronger junglers, but he isn't like pick or ban, which makes him interesting. So my thoughts are basically neutral on him because I haven't played him in a long time. Heimerdinger, the Donger, he just makes a lane a farm lane, and that's basically it. And then he one-shots you with his RW, and then you're just like, wait, what? And that's why you buy MR, kids. I was kind of neutral on him. I haven't played against him in a long time. Alawi. When I first started playing top lane, which was like since the beginning, since I've started this game, I have always just hated Alawi because she punishes you so hard if she lands her E, and then her Q hitbox always just feels a bit off to me. Like if I'm just a bit out of range, it'll still hit me. But recently, on like the past like 4 months, I've been able to get a lot of success against her, winning lane almost every time. She does still deal a ton of damage and everything in team fights and stuff, but my biggest gripe with her is that this is from playing her, is that like you can't decide where her tentacles are gonna go, which doesn't allow you to set up for fights as easily. It'd be kind of interesting if it's on a charge system. You could be like, I want a tentacle there or there. Aurelia, she does a lot of damage. My biggest gripe with her is when she can go Trinity Force full tank and then still out damage me as a full damage top laner. That's probably because I don't build armor pen very often. Well, at least when I play against Aurelia, for some reason I don't build armor pen. But she does have a decent skill cap and stuff, so she's pretty good. I just don't like it when she comes in the lane with a Sheen and then kills me while I'm trying to run away, even if she doesn't land the stun or the slow. But that doesn't happen very often. Ivern. Okay, I literally can't stand this guy. It's like, I'm just going to clear your jungle almost instantly for no reason, and then I'm going to act like I'm a really nice guy. He's just so irritating. The perma-slow on his E, his irritating root, his bushes that make it so that you can't see objectives, his annoying Daisy that comes around and knocks your entire team up. He's just so irritating. And then he does damage for some reason. And then he just can go full support, so you can have like a full damage support like Brand, and then have him as your real support. And then it's just like, oh, wake me up. I don't want to play against Ivern as a jungler. And then his ganks are so irritating because it's just like, oh, I'm running away. Oh no, you got hit by Ivern Q. Now there's a Yasuo in your face who is Windwall. I mean, not Windwall, Tornado. Ivern is annoying. Janna's odd because she's consistently one of the highest win rate supports, yet she gets 0 changes. I can appreciate a good Janna who like lands tornadoes in like the middle of dashes and stuff, but most of the time when I play against Janna, they just press E on their ADC whenever they're gonna take damage or go for a trade. And then it's just like, you did so much, you're so good at Janna. Yay. She's overall pretty good, though, and balanced and stuff. Jarvan. Okay, I like Jarvan. He's rising in popularity, which I don't like, because, as I've been told, Jarvan does, when Jarvan's strong, he just oppresses he just makes everybody, like, not worried. He's so good at everything that if he's strong, he can just force everybody out of the meta. I've seen like 3 Jarvans in the past week, which is kind of scary because I've been picking up Jarvan and he's really fun, especially with my build, which I'm going to keep secret for now. A couple people already know it, but he's good, like, because he's not like totally, like, he's not like Vi who can just press R and ADC and then boom, they're dead without much things that they can do. Like, you can flash a Jarvan ult. And, like, it's so weak that you can tumble out of it as Vayne, and that can't go over any other terrain in the game. Just feels bad, man. Jax is odd. I'm a fan of his, of how his power curve is. It's like, early game, he's pretty weak. Early game, he's relatively weak. I mean, early levels, he's weak. But then, like, he gains power as the game goes on with, like, a mid-game spike and a, and like he's one of the best duelists late game. Like, he can just dive on anything and kill it. I think he's one of like the top 3 late game 1v1 champs. And I also like how his hands are purple, yet I thought he was human. Jace. Oh my goodness, can they just nerf him so that he has to go tier again? Because Armor Pen Jace has such a good early game. Well, normal Jace has a pretty good early game once he gets tier, but he doesn't get as much as an early power spike because has really high has high base damages and high scalings. Like a EQ has 160% AD scaling. I think it's bonus AD with like a 400% base damage, which is ridiculous, especially since it can hit like half of your team at a ridiculous range at a ridiculous speed. I really don't like getting sniped by Jace, but I love playing him because he's really fun. So I overall kind of dislike him. I really dislike it when he's strong. Like right after Worlds, when everybody was spamming Jace, it's like, no, please leave leave my top lane alone. Jhin, I like you, Jhin. You're cool. You're like this art person. And you're like, hey, I'm art. Yay! It's kind of annoying when he has like 1,000 AD, and then he like two shots you. He like Q autos you, and then boom, you're dead. But I mean, a lot of ADCs do that. But he's more skillful because he has like the 4-shot thing, and then he has like the things that you can do with like his ultimate and stuff. His ultimate's pretty hard to land. Right click AD carry. I don't like you. You're a hyper carry as well. Don't get out of my games. Every single Jinx I play against is like level 6 or level 7. And all of them, yeah, I just don't like Jinx. She's so annoying. Because there's just so much damage. It's like her rockets. Oh, she's synergized with Runons so well. I hate Runons. Remove Runons right now from the game. So painful. Kalista, I really like her. She's really fun. As with like Azir, she's really oppressive when they're strong. She isn't really oppressive right now because like I'm just gonna you get 2 smites on your team. Like imagine a Kalista jungle. It's like you're gonna have so many like what's it called, like guarantees for those objectives. So it's like you're not gonna lose. You shouldn't really lose objectives as Kalista. But overall, since she's weak, I like her. But when she's strong, I am not a fan of her at all. Karma, I think this is the wrong image. But I like Karma's support. No, actually, I don't like Karma. Karma does a lot of damage. If you look at her ratio, she has like, I've been able to, in a custom, of course, one-shot somebody with just Mantra Q, which is kind of ridiculous. She does a ton of damage for being a support type champion, and then plus she has the AoE speed up shield that if you build like Athene's can also heal. But she's kind of fine. No, tank Karma, don't you dare play tank Karma. So annoying. Karthus, I like Karthus. His ultimate really feels, he's just overall is goodly designed. Like his ultimate is arguably one of the strongest ultimates in the entire game, but it is a longer cooldown than some summoner spells. Ow. Oh, I'm sorry. So like there's things that you can do, like anyone can buy Zanya's, anyone can yeah, and then also it has like a relatively low AP scaling, and then like it's pretty difficult to keep on landing your Qs consistently. Oh, I like Kassadin. Kassadin's fun. Good mobility, good damage, but then he also has like some weaknesses with like, if he's not up against a mage, his passive is completely useless other than the ghosting part. And he does good against mages, but for some reason I can't succeed against them early game, which probably means I'm bad at him, but he's fun. Katarina. The new Katarina, arguably the hardest champion in the game, skill cap wise. She's really oppressive if she gets a lead. Like if she can get a Hextech, not a Hextech gun, Hextech revolver, you're laning, you're not going to be able to, she throws out a Q, you can't go near that dagger, because then you're going to die. Especially if she has ult and ignite. But like, I really like that she's really hard, and she's visibly hard, because old Katarina was hard in most people, in people that played her's opinion, but you couldn't tell. If old Katarina did something impressive, you couldn't tell that it was impressive. If a new Katarina does something that's impressive, you will know that it's impressive. Well, you should know. Kayle. Screw you. I play a lot of champions that deal high damage in a relatively short amount of time. And she's just like, I'm ult, and then auto attack your face until you're dead. And I really hate auto attacks. And she has a heal. And she has MR and AD shred. I mean, armor shred. Screw you, Kayle! Kennen, I'm fine with him. He has a lot of things. I don't like it when he's strong and then he's played in most games because he's another ranged top laner that isn't Gnar. And he does a lot of damage. And then, like, with his ultimate plus Zhonya's. Ooh, that's nasty. Kha'Zix, I didn't like his rework because he can stick onto you and then just Q you and it will deal like 600 damage in like mid-late game. And then your face is going to melt. But he's an assassin, he's a jungler, he's a counterpart to Rengar. I overall just don't kind of like him. He's an assassinish jungler. Kindred's fine, except, well, Kindred's actually not fine, because she has, like, design-wise, she's great. She fits her theme so well, because it's like her ultimate, like, her passive is, like, the longer the game, the longer you live, the more likely Kindred is to get you. So it's like, since Kindred is, like, death, like, the longer the game goes on, the more likely Kindred is to kill you, with, like, her passive stacking. But then her ultimate is an interesting ability, but it also is so annoying when I go onto the Kindred that's at no health. They ult, they get me down to no health, then they get like a crit or something, and you're just like, that was fun. Kled is, in my opinion, the best way to create a diver. Like Xin Zhao, he is not completely just like, I'm gonna go in and just auto attack their faces or anything. He does a lot of damage through auto attacks, mostly through his W, but then like he has a defined strong state when he's on top of Skarl, and then his weak state when he's unmounted, and then he has like 0 movement speed. So his defined strengths and weaknesses. He has clear trading patterns when violent tendencies is down. He's just overall a great champion. Of course, I am biased because I do have like level 3 on him. So Kog'Maw, I haven't seen him since he was reworked. LeBlanc, I love LeBlanc. Not much more to say. She's ridiculously fun. She has I don't know if she has a higher or lower skill cap after the changes, but she's still really fun. She's still bursty. She's still, people can complain about her a lot less. They complain about her that they get killed by 1E. They don't complain that they got instantly melted, because with getting killed by 1E, you can still flash that, which allows you to actually do something against her, which you couldn't if like if you're an ADC or something and you were walking along and there's a LeBlanc in a bush, you were dead. Now you're not necessarily dead. You could be dead. Lee Sin, I don't like him because he's in every game and his early game is so strong and he does so much damage even when building Warrior Black Cleaver. He can out damage Graves with 2 items. With Warrior Death Stance he can out duel Graves. He does so much damage. He's so painful. Also sorry for the not base splash art. And then he's high skill cap. Yes, but like ult QQ should not be able to kill me if he weaves in some auto attacks even. Leona, she's okay. She's okay. She has a lot of CC for support. Her E is a really odd thing. Like, if you're Lucian and you start dashing away in the middle of her E coming towards you, it can still sometimes hook onto you. She does have a lot of CC, which is kind of irritating. She's also really tanky. But, I mean, if she doesn't have a passive if she isn't by allies. So she's kind of meh, in my opinion. Lissandra, I like Lissandra. She's like the CC mage. She'll make it so that you can't move, and also one-shot your squishies while she's at it. So she's, I don't ever play against her, because I think I played against one Lissandra. That's fewer Aatroxes. That's more, I played against her fewer times than I have Aatrox, which is kind of funny. She has, like, all of her abilities, except her ultimate, can theoretically be dodged. I mean, her W is pretty hard to dodge, because it's, like, right in your face. But I think she's good overall. Lucian, love Lucian. Favorite ADC. There's like spell weaving, so that you use your spells in the way that you can get your auto attacks weaved in between. Um, there's like the there's the different combos that you can do. There's the fight animation cancels and other stuff that you can do. I really just like Lucian as a champion. He's just really goodly designed in my opinion, and yeah, he's well designed, and he isn't really ever like stupid oppressive except when Korean Lucian came out. Well, that was fun. Lulu's a Yordle, and why is there a mouse running away from Lulu? That's kind of not good. Her ultimate is kind of evil, and she does a surprising amount of damage, especially when taken top or mid, where you aren't expecting damage from a support. But she has the tools that she needs to be an effective support, and she's also like not completely like shield bot or heal bot like Soraka. So she's interesting. Screw Lux. I hate Lux. Lux is the worst. Long range poke burst mage for ease. Unless you know where it's going, it's pretty hard to dodge it. If she lands her Q at like level 6, she can one-shot you. She does a lot of damage from very safe range. Her ultimate has like a 27-second cooldown at rank 3, which is ridiculous for how big of an impact it does. It can do like 600 damage, 27-second cooldown to your entire team and a minion wave. It's ridiculous. It's such a stupid ability. I'm really infuriated by that. So this should be the end of the first section of my commentary on champions. Yay, see you in the next part.